After waiting a while, Yhwach finally got added on the 27th, being banned in almost every single match. But the thing is, Yhwach's been in development for over 300 days, and honestly, he was probably finished a long time ago. When I look at characters that were made around the same time, I can't help but wonder, why did it take so long for him to get released? And more importantly, is he really worth the wait? Well, today, we're about to find out. Like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Yhwach's first move can be activated by pressing 1 and holding space. It gives you 4 options: Explode, Balance, Visionary, and Superstar. Explode is a combo-ending explosion. Balance sends out a balance that inverts your opponent's controls. The Visionary shoots out auto-tracking bullets from 11 guns, letting you combo extend. And finally, the Superstar is a combo-ending attack that launches your opponent in the air. Out of the 4, the most useful is definitely the Visionary. Those guns are super reliable for combos, although keep in mind that you can still combo with the explosion. The second attack that Yhwach has in his base is Ray Shi Armory, which does a nice guard break and double swing. However, the attack is a second version, the Arrow, which can be done by holding space and pressing the move at the same time. Now, both variants are guard breaks and you can even combo with the Arrow, but if you ask me which one's more reliable, I would say they're both reliable. One can extend and the other one can end. As for his third move, it's a grab and projectile combined in one. The most useful version is definitely the grab. I'm not gonna lie though, the projectile is something you just toss out if you're feeling a little bit lazy. It's not really that good. As for the grab, it's pretty damn good. You can use it to combo extend, and it even guard breaks if you go behind your opponent. So yeah, so far, Yhwach's got a pretty solid kit. But now it's time to talk about his worst move. Yhwach's last move in his base throws out a barrage of arrows. Although it guard breaks, it's the only attack in his base that doesn't have another variant. It's large, AoE, and can be stacked with other moves. Really though, it's not his best. Now with all that yap right out the way, we know exactly what time it is. Let's review the base. The first tier is combo potential, and Yhwach has 4 combo extenders: the explosion, the guns, the grab, and the arrow. He has an abundance of things that you can combo with, and to be honest with you, they don't really require that much skill. I'm gonna be giving it a 10 out of 10. Next up is damage, and Yhwach deals a decent amount, but it isn't super insane. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. My rating for damage doesn't really factor in M1s because he doesn't have an M1 buff in his base, just like most characters in ABA. Now let's talk about usability. For Yhwach's usability, I gave him a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing keeping him from a 10 is the fact that he doesn't have an evasive. Now with all that said, the next tier is team play, which is pretty damn good. Of course, to save time, I'm gonna brush over this section, and I'm not gonna lie, I also forgot to record my gameplay for this part. But my experience having a Yhwach on the team or even being the Yhwach has always been good. The only things he lacks is mobility. He doesn't really have a way to get to the fight quick, and he doesn't have a way to teleport teammates. For team play, he's gonna get an 8.5 out of 10. Up next is a tier that really doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but it's something that honestly every character in ABA can do, and that is neutral game, which is pretty much autopilot, where you just spam moves, run around, and barely try to use your brain. Yhwach can do that. I mean, depending on the level of skill that your opponent has, you can pretty much just beat them by using all the moves in your kit. But let's say you're fighting someone who knows what they're doing, then yeah, you can't just spam moves and win. You gotta start comboing, and you gotta start whooping some ass. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Now lastly, for his base is a pretty interesting question. Does Yhwach actually require skill inside his base? Well, to answer that, kind of, but not really. In my opinion, you could definitely win without combos or being good at ABA. However, at the same time, it will get pretty challenging considering that he doesn't have a traditional spam kit. Almost all of Yhwach's attacks require you to find your opponent first. And that means you can't just boost like a Goku then. It's a hard question to answer because I do want to say that he takes no skill, but at the same time I want to say he takes some skill. Put a brain dead character in the hands of a newbie, they're gonna find a way to win. You put Yhwach in the hands of a new player, I don't know if they're gonna win with the base. I mean, right here, when I was fighting somebody who was relatively new to ABA, it felt like a fly flew past my ear. Because, with all the respect, man, I found him, killed him, and then moved on. Really didn't feel like there was anything going on in the fucking fight. I don't know. I think it requires a certain level of skill somewhat, but not a lot. Alright, with all that said, let's talk about the base rating. So for Yhwach's base, he's gonna be getting a 44 out of 50. Really close to being perfect, but not just yet. Now let's talk about his awakening. Yhwach's first attack in his awakening is Futility. It's a combo extending teleporting attack that goes behind your opponent. It's best used after an upfling, and it's a pretty solid attack. On top of that, you can hit multiple people with this move, so make sure you don't stand together. His next attack is an AoE guard break that allows you to follow up. This move is honestly something you just throw out. It doesn't really allow you to combo extend if someone is further back, because naturally, people will do the dash as soon as they see you pop mode. And like I said, just throw this out whenever you want. You can combo if you're close, or you can finish off combos if you're upfling into it. However, if someone goes behind you, the attack becomes useless, and you are not going to be getting hit. The third attack that Yhwach has in his mode is King's Blade, which does 50 damage. The move lands twice and has an insanely short cooldown. If you mess around and throw this out, it can work, but the most effective way to use it is by upflinging into it. But with that said, you can also down slam into the attack for a slightly easier way to land it. But be mindful, for crazy amounts of damage, I recommend you use the upfling. Now it's time for the most broken move that Yhwach has. I think Almighty is by far Yhwach's best move in his entire kit. So much upside with literally zero downside. It goes through iframes, goes through block, and most importantly, takes away your ability to awaken in that life. However, the attack does more than I said. It protects you from one guard break, makes you faster, and even gives you the ability to see health and mode meter of your opponents. But I almost forgot, it also gives your teammates a tiny bit of awakening. So honestly, that wraps up his awakening. Let's get on to the rating. To start off with combo potential, Yhwach's mode doesn't even need to combo. Yet when he does, it's fucking crazy. The damage he does is insanely high. But look, I'm not here to rate this section off of damage itself. He can throw out moves quickly and does crazy fucking combos. But are those moves actually good for the combo? Of course. Here's a teleporting combo extender, an AoE guard breaking combo ender, a freaking starter as well, and another combo ender that's pretty hard to avoid. I don't think there's any more words that I need to describe this. Yhwach's combo potential is going to be getting a 10 out of 10. Moving over to damage, Yhwach is getting a 10 out of 10. I mean, listen, you're going to hear a lot of fucking 10s, because I'm going to be honest, man. This guy doesn't even need to M1. Use 2 moves and all your health is gone. It's as simple as that. However, for usability, his awakening is going to be getting a 10 out of 10 as well. You got a teleporting combo extender that can be blocked but goes behind your opponent. You got a big ass AoE guard break that can only be countered by going behind him. You got a quick moving attack that does 50 damage. And lastly, you got the Almighty. I think 10 out of 10 fits. Now we're on to team play. Now I'm gonna skip over this section because honestly, I don't feel like explaining this. Do I have to? 10 out of 10. But I do gotta say, man, my biggest thing does have to be him landing the Almighty gives his freaking teammates mode meter. I mean, it may not be the highest amount, but it's still pretty crazy. Imagine, you're playing 2s and your teammate gets super low. They're on 1 life, but they're very close to their mode. Guess what? They can't go into the fight because, hey, if they do, they're gonna die. But listen, you pop mode, you land Almighty, and then your teammates, they get to awaken. I don't know, man. That sounds pretty freaking busted. But look, with that said, we got the second to last thing, which is neutral game. And for the 80th time, ABA is a game where you legit require 0 amounts of skill to win. Play PTS Luffy and you'll see what I mean. But look, Yhwach's mode doesn't take an ounce of skill. I think 10 out of 10 stands. You can run around, spam moves, chase people down, and don't even need to combo. Pretty fucking simple. But finally, I gotta ask the stupidest question in the world. Do you need skill to use Yhwach's mode? You and I both know the answer. No, you fucking don't. Now then, that's gonna be giving Yhwach a perfect awaken rating of 50 out of 50. And I think this is the first time of all of my ratings, even the old ones, where I actually gave somebody a freaking perfect score. Sure, you can say his base has flaws, but his awakening though, it's a guaranteed kill, at least one time. Just spam and you'll win. Now it's time for the last 2 ratings. The first one is price, and Yhwach is actually kind of underpriced. The man only costs 3,500 gold, which in my opinion is very cheap. I think making him cost more than Toji would make a whole lot of sense. I mean, he has so much shit you can do inside his base and inside of his awakening. Look, Toji is also someone who's pretty good, at least if you know what you're doing. But if you don't, then you're probably not gonna win. For some reason, he costs 4,000 gold, and Yhwach only costs 3,500. I think Yhwach's real price should be like 5k or even 6k, because realistically, the character is not priced correctly. And on top of that, there's not many characters that compete with him on a price level. For what he can do, he should cost an arm and a leg, at least in ABA. Lastly is design, which is Yhwach's lowest rating. He has no other skins, but his VFX and his animations are pretty damn good. Enough for me to say that he gets a 7 out of 10. But to be honest with you, this is just a vanity rating. It doesn't really matter. And it doesn't get scored into the overall, because like I said before, ABA is not a game that is really known for good graphics or crazy looking things, because honestly, it's not. It's about time for its overall rating, which is probably the highest rating that I'm going to be given for a while. Yhwach, the Quincy King, is going to be getting an overall rating of 104 out of 110. Top tier menace, top tier character, and a guy that you're not going to lose too often with. Yhwach only runs into issues in his base, and most of the time, he runs into issues that every other character does in ABA, or most characters, and that's escape combos or not getting comboed at all. The guy has an amazing one-shot combo in his base, and he also has one in his mode. With that said, the Qunicy King might be one of the best characters in ABA. But look, that ends today's video. If you enjoyed this, let me know what other characters you want me to review. Drop it down below in the comments. And with all that said, man, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.